stars, and I want to welcome people to the first series on lectures, which is around the brain or neuroscience. And I want to begin the series of lectures and the course is tell with a story about a man named Phineas Gage, and an event that happened to Gage in the summer of 1848 in Cavendish, Vermont. So Gage was a blasting foreman working on the railway construction projects, and his job at the time was to clean away rocks so they could log down trucks. About to do so, his routine duty through the day, whether he would be bore and hole in the rocks inside the hull he put blasting powder and refusing. Then he would cover this without dirt and sand and taken a tamponade which he carried with him, a big piece of steel looking like a javelin, and used it to tamp down the sand and dirt so that later they could send their views and curse the explosions. Well, one day something didn't work. Nobody exactly sure why. Maybe he just forgot to put in the sand and the dirt. But regardless, he put the tampon roll into their hole. Their powder exploded. The tampon roll shot away from his hand and went into his face. It entered the left side of Gage's jaw. Moving in upward direction, it passed behind the left ear through the left side of the brain and went out the top of his skull and landed several feet away of the gutter. Now, miraculously, Gage wasn't killed over the spot. He lost consciousness for a little bit, but that he staggered for his feet. And some records say Gage was very lucky, so he underwent and survived of operation. He had infections, he got sick. At time his life was a risk, but month later he was in certain records pretty much recovered. He was able to see, he wasn't deaf, he wasn't paralyzed, and he didn't lose the ability to speak or understand the language. He didn't lose his intellectual capacities in any simple way. But in another sense, Gage was very unlucky because Gage has been transformed by this incident. Someone who knew Gage described the transformation like this. Before their accident, Gage was quite the most ethical and capable man, and a man of temperate habits, considerate in your character, and sharp-shrewd businessman. After the accident, Gage was no longer Gage. He was fitful, irreverent, undirected, at times in their gross profanity manifesting but little difference from his fellows. He ended up losing his job. He traveled through their strength talking about different jobs, entering of different relationship, and ultimately end up an exhibit in their traveling circus holding of temple around and that tells people about their terrible story about how it went through his head and went through his brain and changed his life. So why I'm telling you this story? Well, as I said, I want to begin the recast by talking about their brain, and the story of Phineas Gage illustrates something which we have evident reason to believe, which is that the brain is the source of mental life, and so damage to the brain can have profound effect on who we are and what we are. Here he nicely summarized by the Nobel Prize-winning biologist Francis Crick. He calls it the astonishing hypothesis. As he writes, the astonishing hypothesis is that you, your joys and your sorrows, your memories and your ambitions, your sense of personality, identity, and free will are in fact no more than their behaviors or waste assembly or no cells and their associated molecules. Now this assembly of nerve cells and of course the brain. The brain and parts of the spinal cord, but we're going to talk about the brain here. And the idea that sometimes people like to put is their mind is the brain, or that their mind is what the brain does, or the mental life emerges from the brain. The official term for this is materialism, that we are material beings. Everybody expects that our arms and legs and our health and kindness and mind or the arms are to starve of rabbits and autumnleaves and calves, but the idea is that our mental life what makes us special, our most intimate feeling and thirst also are received from arise from their material things. And this idea that makes possibly the discipline of neuroscience and much of psychology.